Good morning. Thanks for joining us for the Farm and Ranch News. With many ag groups holding their summer meetings this month, one of the big topics we've been covering is the BLM's proposed Public Lands Conservation Rule. Andy and Brett spoke with Public Lands Council President Mark Rober at the Wyoming Stock Growers Convention in Riverton yesterday, and he said that ranchers need to help share the benefits grazing offers to the landscape and that conservation is an outcome of good grazing practices.
Well, I think telling their own story is a big part of that. I mean, the ranching industry tends to mind their own business and expect everybody to mind theirs. We need to tell our story. We've got an important story to tell. I think we're making some headway in that how beneficial cattle are in the carbon cycle and to the ground. And I think we need to continue that and push that as hard as we can.
Well, the MSU College of Ag and Ag Experiment Stations will kick off their summer field days next week. At the field days, farmers and other stakeholders will learn about ongoing and future research projects and tour facilities. Discussion topics will include plant breeding and variety testing, livestock management, precision agriculture, irrigation, and input management. The field days will begin at the Southern Ag Research Center in Huntley on Wednesday the 14th, and through July, 6 more research stations will hold their field days. Well, stay with us. You're really going to want to hear what we have to say about these cattle markets when we come back in an hour.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Welcome back to the Ag Report, everybody. It probably won't surprise you that total post-secondary enrollment at public and private colleges was down 2.7% in the fall of 2021 coming out of the pandemic. However, the second largest major increase at four-year institutions was in agriculture, up 7%. And national enrollment in ag majors at two-year institutions was up 41%. Now, to provide more opportunities for students, lawmakers have introduced the Community College Ag Advancement Act that would dedicate $20 million of Farm Bill funding to community college training, education, and research programs that are generally excluded from federal funding. Well, the cattle futures did work lower on Thursday, but it's not going to stifle the optimism that ranchers have for the industry. The cash-fed cattle trade up $8 to $10 this week, and we're likely to see records broken by the end of the day. The first test of calves on the video was just outstanding, 30 to 40% above last year for the calves from our region. We saw a top of 332 on 4-weight NHTC steers. 5 weights from low to high averaged 290 for the calves from our region. 6 to 6.5 weight steers 267 to 279. Heavier 6 weights 261 to 272. Finished lambs in Sioux Falls were steady to 6 higher this week from 165 to 185. And the wheat market did regain some of yesterday's losses, but we're hoping for support from this morning's World Supply and Demand report. A big ask, though, as estimates for the report are expecting to reflect higher wheat production and increased ending stock estimates compared to what we saw last month. Well, thanks for joining us today. Have a great Friday.